Exactly one, and we hope to spend about 1 hour 30 minutes to maximum of 2 hours in this meeting. And the major goal of this session is to have an engagement with one of the top leading consultants, and also another leading consultant, who is a lady that would also be just giving us an overview of consultancy work from the woman perspective. So we are here today by Edfrica. And by now, I'm sure most of you, because you're consultants, you must have done your research to just check out who are these guys, what do they do, what kind of organization is this, and I'll be taking us in the next 5-10 minutes overview about Edfrica. Then thereafter, we'll now take it up from here. So meanwhile, we would like you to register. I would like to bring up board one of my team members, Adewale or Abimbola, to show us and guide us in the next few minutes on how we're going to do the registration. So Adewale and Abimbola, please, you have the floor for the next 3 minutes.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone. We are glad everyone is able to attend this meeting today. It's going to be great, and we expect that we'll all get what we really need from this meeting today. So quickly, for us to get registered on a Edfrica platform, all we need to do is to click a consultant.edfrica.org. Once you are able to click that, there's a section on our platform that will show you sign up. Once you click on the sign up, you have either your name or the email address. Then you insert your password. Once you insert your password, you reconfirm the password. And once that is done, you have signed up on our platform. And there's at the lower part of it, once you get to our page, consultant.edfrica.org, you get a directive. At the lower part of it, you see a section where you write, click here. Once you click here, all the details that is needed will be imputed. So thank you so much. That is all you need to do. You just follow the prompts as you click in on consultant.edfrica.org. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Bimbola. We'll take it up from here, but for this event and for this meeting, we'd like everybody to register, and I'm going to share the screen now to show you how we would like you to quickly register in the next few minutes. So in the chat room, please put your name, email, organization, the country, and maybe why you're here if you would like to share your expectations. So if you like to share your expectations, just put your name, email, organization, and country, because we know we have multiple countries in this session, multiple individuals from different countries. So we'd like to just be able to map out who are the audience in today's meeting. We have 58 people already in at 60. It's feeling quite fast. So we'd love you to give us your name, email address, your organization, and the country. If you can, that would be good. Yes, in the chat room. Good. So I'm seeing some people are already doing that, and that is really appreciated. If you have any expectation, we'd love to have it clarified so that at the end of today's meeting, we're clear that we've met your expectation. Good. So name, email, organization, country. We'll be happy if you have this in the chat room. Now, as we do that, I would like to give an introduction to Edfrica, what we do, and why we're invested in this kind of event across board. So Edfrica is educating Africa in short, and our goal is simple: to see how we can keep educating and empowering African entrepreneurs with opportunities across board. We believe that the more educated the entrepreneurs in Africa are, the better Africa would be. We believe that the more empowered we are as entrepreneurs in Africa, the better, the higher the percentage of growth, the GDP and everything around Africa would be, both now and the future. So our goal in Edfrica is simple. We want to see as much possible people educated with the right information and with the right form of empowerment, not gifts, not distributing funding, not development ideas that don't scale, but instead of that, trying to make sure that we empower people accordingly in the way that it is for the future. So we have different ways we do this. Our vision is simple. We are a dynamic social enterprise committed to fostering entrepreneurship and leadership among young Africans. We believe in innovation and strategic guidance, and we have platforms because we believe that we cannot do this on our own. We have platforms where we try to collaborate with business consultants like you to see how we can actually empower and help entrepreneurs. Edfrica as an organization itself can do very little, but utilizing and maximizing the ecosystem approach where people can come together to say, actually see the need of consultancy of support in globally, it makes it easier to actually make the impact we desire to make. So with this, we have a media platform, we have several things that we do. Our vision is a continent that is with accountable leaders and value-driven entrepreneurs. We believe that leadership and entrepreneurship are two key things to the success of Africa as a whole. You would surely agree with me. Okay, most of us would agree with me that if leadership is refined, more entrepreneurs will succeed. And so, from our own perspective, we are trying to make sure that it's in two thematic areas. How do we make sure that leadership is inspired from the youth, from the teenagers to entrepreneurs? And then how do we inspire also entrepreneurs who are already entrepreneurs to do better, to deliver value, and to achieve what they want to achieve with the value-driven mindset? And that is our approach so far. Yeah, our mission is towards a continent where youth believe and exhibit the right entrepreneurial leadership value. The two keywords are still there, entrepreneurial and leadership value. We've been doing this for the past several years ago. These are, you can see pictures of the different fairs, the different SME support we've been doing. You can see GBG, that's the Google background, SME Sabi GIZ, and several partnerships we've been able to do over the years. We have three thematic areas we're trying to work on. Entrepreneurs. How can we actually support entrepreneurs with information? Because when an entrepreneur is not informed, they keep making mistakes. There are a lot of entrepreneurs that don't even understand what incubation is. As much as we consultants have been doing a lot of work around that, do these MSMEs, these young ones, these entrepreneurs in that rural really understand what the essence of incubation is, or they come to just eat rice? Do they even know when they got to apply? So our focus is on entrepreneurs as the end product. We also know that we cannot achieve it on our own, and therefore we have a community of consultants. And that was what Abimbola was mentioning. I would like to have as many consultants as possible who have the heart for African entrepreneurs to join us to keep making impact. We have different thematic areas, people with disabilities that we want to support, women that we've been supporting and we're supporting, rural farmers that we'll be supporting, and several others. Like 2 weeks ago, we still implemented a project for IFDC, the International Fertilizer Development Corporation, for the farmers in the north. And we're looking for consultants who have agriculture, who really are passionate about agriculture in the north to support us. It was a paid activity, but it was an issue looking for consultants with the passion to deliver that. We would like to have everybody in this meeting on board on our platform to be able to say, see, organizations, we understand that we need diaspora, but internally in Africa, we have solutions. We have people who have capacity of delivering this thing. Can we work together better? And can you even give us the value that is attached to us? And then partnership, we work with NPOs, NGOs, and all. So I'll be moving further because we are consultants. We're making sure we're linking SMEs to you over time, ensuring that you have visibility on our different platforms. If you go to consultant.edfrica.org, you can see the link here. You will see that we already have some consultants listed and we're trying to bring more. We're not doing the generic one of just pay, pay, pay. Yes, it's going to be value for value approach, but we want more passionate people who actually want the development of Africa and training and retraining of global trends in the consultancy and development world. I had the opportunity of meeting people who are just passionate to try and bring me into the international consultancy space. I'm blessed to be a consultant across board with GIZ internationally, with ECOWAS, World Bank, and all internationally. But it took an African consultant who has the experience to say, see, these opportunities are there. Can we get more of you national, local consultant to apply for this? And that's why we have Oumar here to give us deep insight into how we can actually penetrate into the consulting world. It would have been so sweet to be the person or just few people there, and then every time there's any project to be delivered by UNDP or whoever, they just look for diasporas. We need them, yes. We need the white, we need the brown, we need the blue people. But more importantly, can we as African consultants show and begin to show that we have capacity to actually help our people? And that is why Edfrica is here to see how can we work together as a team? How can we retrain? How can we train? How can we capacity build ourselves as consultants that when any organization, donor agents, international organizations are looking for team leaders, are looking for people of value, it does not become scarce. It does not become an issue of where are they? And then we submit our CVs and they're like, I'm not sure we can use this CV just because we don't have the information. So we'll keep doing training and retraining on global consultancy and development space, and we'll keep doing all this as we go. So we have a lot on the slide that we're doing. We're working with partnership. So if you as an organization or you have an organization you would like to partner with us, we're ready to partner in terms of women, people with disability, entrepreneurship, agriculture across multiple spaces. We are willing and ready to partner to help you deliver your project. We have a pool of consultants, and we ourselves are experienced consultants. We have a team of 6 people, of 7 people, the strategic and relationship manager who is Aaron. We have the community manager who is Joyce. We have the CEO who is Abiodun. We have Adewale who is the media person on our team. And we have so many other people on our team. Aaron, I think I've mentioned virtually about Pedro and Matthew. So we are ready to work with you. But right now, what we need from you is to sign up if you can and become a part of our team. If you have any issues on this, Joyce is going to drop the phone number you can reach out to, the WhatsApp you can reach out to in the chat room, and you can just send us a WhatsApp message and we'll find a way to look at what do you do, what does the organization do, what do you do as an organization, what can we do to direct individuals to you, SMEs to you that you can help. Now, I'm not going to go too detailed in this because we are here to actually get value and not to blow the trumpet of Edfrica. But basic things, we've been doing SME skills, we do monthly series, we're having another one next week on Saturday. We do financial series clinic and several other activities that we're doing to help you. We'd like you to be part of the consultant masterclass. That will be happening after this. We'd like to matchmake you to mentor and support SMEs. This will be happening after this. We really, 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 really want you on board. And I hope that your being here today would be of value to you and of value to Edfrica. I would like to stop there so that I don't overtalk on Edfrica, but this is the thing. We cannot do it alone. We cannot do it alone. And I know that you listening to me, you have the passion to help entrepreneurs in Africa, not just in Nigeria. Yes, we have a lot of Nigerians here, but not just in Nigeria. We're trying to go global. It will pay you to be part of us because you gain visibility, you would have access to entrepreneurs, you gain the experience needed for the consultancy world international to recognize that you're doing something, and you'd also be paid for the activities that you do with us. We'd love to welcome everyone here on board, and we hope that after this, you're going to reach out to us to say, okay, guys, what are you doing? I find it interesting. Can we find a way to partner? I am in Ekiti. There are 20 youth I would like to support there. This is what I have in mind. Can we work together? Oh, I am in Jos. I am in Accra. This is what I have in mind. Can we work together to help this set of people, digitalization, intelligence, whatever you have in mind to do? That will be the summary of what we have to present to you for Edfrica, and I hope that you'll find value with us. Now, to today's session, I was quite fast, I know. And because I'm more of focused on the value that Oumar has for us and not just the story I would like to say. So we have somebody of value, like big time. For anybody that understand what value means, you know that from the portfolio and from the CV that we have shared, Oumar Seck is somebody of value. Let me confirm. Emmanuel or Adewale, do you have his profile and you'd like to share that?
Yes, we have his profile, so I would love to share from
Please
our
go
end.
ahead. Please go
All right,
ahead.
thank you very
Thank you.
much. All right. Good afternoon once again, everyone. My name is Adewale Kendi, the Media and Communication Lead for Edfrica, and I would love to read the profile of Oumar Seck. Oumar Seck is a seasoned expert in private sector development with extensive work in finance, SME development, and infrastructure across Africa. He has managed major international projects, developed financial instruments, and driven SME growth, positioning himself as a key figure in Africa's economic transformation. He is the founder, CEO, and managing consultant of Emerging Africa Consulting. He speaks both English and French. He has a 30 years experience in private sector development, in finance, and SME entrepreneurship across Africa. He has a 30 plus years work experience, as I have said, and he has worked across Africa, 47 countries in Africa, 5 other countries in Asia, 8 countries in Europe, and 3 countries in America, which is USA, Pacific, and the Caribbean. He has worked for the Emerging Africa Consulting, which he is the founder and the CEO. He has worked for the World Bank under Rugi. He has worked for EU ACP, the Private Sector Development Platform. He has worked for International Finance Corporation, the Citibank, ECOWAS, NEPAD. He has also worked for other various African governments. Okay, so he's an expert in private sector development, SME finance, venture capital, green finance, public-private partnership, and resource mobilization. He's also an expert in fund management, blended finance, export and trade promotion, an expert in fintech, expert in infrastructure finance, investment structuring, industrial transformation. What are his major roles? He's a fund manager and team leader of Rogep between 2013 and 2014. Has managed over 2.3 billion euros fund for green finance in West and Central Africa. His major roles are the blended finance experts, EU ACP platform between 2018 to 2021. He has managed over 600 million euro fund, expanded to 2.3 billion euros through blended finance for SME support. He's also a consultant author for Africa's Agenda. Yeah, he's focused on the resource mobilization and infrastructure. He's a Citibank manager, the led corporate and SME banking across regions. He's a program manager, UNDP's Enterprise Africa, the led private sector and SME initiatives across Africa. What are his impacts and contributions? When it comes to SME development impact, he has supported 12,000 plus SME employees across Africa, facilitated over 2.3 billion euro in SME financing, created and enhanced 75 business organizations and 49 PhD institutions. He has trained over 320 SME consultants, facilitated 21 PhD documents, and established 7 SME promotion agencies. What projects has he managed? Oumar Seck has managed over 82 large-scale projects financed, values ranging from $2 million to $954 million. He has managed over 6,000 SMEs imparted across Africa. He has managed funds totaling 2.3 billion euros across various finance platforms: energy, oil and gas, green finance, manufacturing, agro-industry, special economic zones, digital entrepreneurship, infrastructure finance. Then his other additional key achievements. He has co-authored Africa's Agenda 2063, focusing on resource mobilization and private sector growth. He has developed and implemented blended finance instruments and SME financing vehicles such as the Boost Africa Fund, the Agri-Free Fund, and the Youth Entrepreneurship Seed Fund. Extensively knowledge in PPP infrastructure finance, having prepared multiple PPP policy frameworks for East and Central Africa. And this is what we have about Oumar Seck, who is going to take us through this section today. So thank you very much, Dr. Emmanuel. Over to you, sir.
Thank you very much. The profile alone thank you very much, Adewale. The profile just tells you how much value he to us and it will be to us. Oumar Seck is an outstanding person who has the passion to help fellow African entrepreneurs. Not really, yes, entrepreneurs and consultants. I've had direct relationship and discussions with him, and when he talks, you know that he wants as many young entrepreneurs and as many young consultants to enter into the international space. And trust me, for somebody who has covered 47 countries of Africa, implementing project, not just visiting, implementing project, who has worked with more than 10 international donor organizations, I think we have to really, really get ready to listen to this man. He's from Senegal, and from Senegal, I was like, just some of us are from Gambia, from Nigeria, from Ghana, and we seek to go global. He started from Senegal and is a global star right now. Please kindly welcome my boss, my mentor, and yes, he's been our chief international consultant, Oumar Seck. Sir, you have the floor.
My name is Oumar Seck. I'm from Senegal. But I've worked all over the place. In Nigeria, I've worked in Nigeria a lot. When I was in my Citibank days, I worked in Nigeria most of the time through Lagos. I've worked in Cross River State. I work in Aba State. I work in Dangote, OCP, Obajana Cement Plant. I was at the International Finance Corporation when we loaned Dangote 954 million. US dollar for the plant, which is about, I think, 2 hours from Abuja. So I've known Nigeria a bit. And as a matter of fact, I know the African continent quite well because I've worked in many, many African countries, more than 40 countries. I think exactly 47 or 49 now. From Cairo to Alger to South Africa to Kenya to Senegal to Nigeria, you name it, etc., etc. Okay. So I am very pleased to share my little experience with you guys. And consulting is very exciting business, but very serious business because there is no joke in consulting. It is knowledge-based, and you have to work under pressure. And it's about expertise, which means that anything you'll be dealing with, you are supposed to be an expert. Now, experts come from 2 or 3 things: education and, of course, training, but most importantly, through practical experience. And also, thirdly, through personal effort to learn, and also network. So what my presentation program is today, this is the presentation program. I'm going to explain a bit what are the 3 broad consultancy area, domain area. When you talk about consultancy, what do you mean? Which domain, etc. And I'm also going to cover a bit, about those people you guys should know, because they are those who provide consulting opportunities. And how do you, engage with them? I'm going to talk a bit about the different consulting business model. This is very important. So I'm going to talk also about consultancy, readiness. What does it take to become a consultant? Successful one. And of course, quickly, I'm going to go through consultant proposal writing. How do you respond to a call for proposal or to some kind of terms of reference request for proposal? And sixthly, I'm going to talk about development and international consultancy opportunity. Those who want to venture into international consultant. Africa is right now very exciting. I'm telling you, especially all this security issue. It is the continent of the future. Everybody knows that. That's why you are having all this funny thing happening in the continent. This is not this is not because of Africa, but this is a way of disrupting Africa to take advantage of the continent, including Nigeria, including South Africa, including what is happening all over the place in West Africa, the Sahel region, in Ethiopia, etc., etc. So you have to be very, very strong to believe in Africa and work in Africa. Now, last part, I will be talking about development, international consultancy, domain knowledge. If you want to enter into international consultancy, what are some of the skill sets, some of the knowledge and know-how you should develop? Okay, very good. Now, what are the 3 broad consultancy area? When you talk about consultancy, what do you mean? How do you mean? So the first one that comes in mind is management consultancy. The second one is about development consultancy, whereby you develop you do consulting business to develop your country, your region, your community, etc., etc., or to develop some specific sector. Now, the third one is professional and technical service consultancy, where we're talking about legal, chartered financial accountant business, engineering work, IT work, etc., in a specific way. Now, so in general, management consultancy help organization to solve business management issue and create value for everybody, maximize growth, improve business performance. This is what management consulting. It is typically it is about a firm, a private firm, a firm or a commercial finance institution. So it is typically for a commercial entity when you're talking management consultant, though it can be for a non-commercial entity in terms of some of the process improvement, etc., some of the auditing standard, etc. So management consulting, in fact, it is one of the starting point even for the next one, the next type of consultancy business, which is development consulting. Now, if you don't have some skill in management consulting, it is going to be very difficult for you to succeed in development consulting. Now, development consultancy works across a broad spectrum of areas, including, energy, water, community development, rural development, agriculture development, industrial development, entrepreneurship, and small and medium scale business development, economic development, etc. Okay, so this is what development consultancy is about. It is a bit different from management consulting, though some of the management consultancy area helps a lot in doing, especially private sector, especially SME development, entrepreneurship. Now, the third category of consultancy, it is professional and technical service consultant. If you are a chartered financial accountant, you can offer those services. If you are a legal expert, you can offer legal advisory service, as a consultant. If you are some engineering, you can do studies, design, etc. You can do it, If you have some IT technical skill, you can do it. And indeed, right now, IT related skill, from graphic design, from all kinds of things. If you include artificial intelligence, there is so many opportunity for somebody who has those skill set, to offer consultancy services. As you see, the consultancy market is very, very, very big. The global consultancy market is about several hundred billion of US dollar, several hundred billion of US dollar per year. So there is a lot of money to be done, to be made in this sector. So consultancy is a very attractive business. Now, listen, I wanted to introduce a concept, but let me leave it until the end. Now, who provide consultancy opportunities? It is your local governor, where you live. There are always consultancy opportunities. If you are curious, you talk with them, you engage with them, you could identify, work opportunities with them. So local government are one, provider of consultancy opportunities. Federal government is another one. The other one are development partners. UN system. UN has many organizations. Many. You have the United Nations Development Program. You have United Nations Industrial Development Organization, UNIDO. You have the World Health Organization. You have the Food and Agriculture Organization. You have UNESCO. We can list at least 70 UN organizations that work across our region, that works in Nigeria, all over the place, etc. And then you have the World Bank system. Now, the World Bank is a group of organizations. You have the International Bank for Reconstruction and Development. You have the International Development Agency, which is the World Bank for the poorest of the country. RBRD, the first one I just mentioned, is for some of the middle income type of country. And then you have the International Finance Corporation. I was the head of International Finance Corporation Investment Advisory and Entrepreneurship and SME program for 3 years, way back I was based in Johannesburg. I had my team across the continent. Because Nigeria was a big country, I have a specific team in Nigeria. One team that covered Nigeria and one team for Anglophone West Africa based in Accra, Ghana. One team for Francophone West Africa based in Dakar, and one team for East Africa in Nairobi, one team for Lusophone country in Mozambique, and another team for the island country in Mauritius, etc. So, and then I was just doing entrepreneurship and SME development across those different countries. Okay. Now, World Bank Group, and you have the EU. The EU is a major donor. I think it is the #1 donor. The EU, of course, Britain has left, UK has left, but when the UK was there, everybody was there. UK was really definitely the #1 development partner in the world. In fact, most of the program you see being run by GIZ, by Agence Française de Développement, If you dig into it, you have some form of EU funding. So EU is the big donor. And of course, you have EU and the EU member countries, the like of Germany, France, the Netherlands, etc., 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 etc. So you have all those guys. They provide people like you with many, many, many consultancy opportunities. And of course, you have international NGOs and also local ones. Some large local ones also have, and of course, international foundations, etc., etc., etc. So these are the things, if you want to venture into consultancy business, so these are the people you should engage with, try to understand which kind of service they require, etc. So we're going to go over some of the consultant business opportunities. Now, the next thing I want to share with you is consultant. Now, if you want to go into consulting, you have 4 models in consultancy business. I think as if you are a junior, somebody starting, you start with freelance consulting, with the number 2 here. I don't know how the Nigeria, the system is. You should register, I am assuming, somewhere, and then you start as freelance consultant, so that you have your paper, you can bid for my contract and win them. Now, the other one is a firm. Now, the problem with the firm is it is cost. You have to be legally registered. You have to hire people. You have to pay them. You have to report to the retirement fund. You have to report to the fiscal office, etc. It's very complicated. You have to pay a lot of tax, etc., etc., etc. So this is something that you can do only when you are really ready. You've tested your skill, other freelance consultant, and you feel now ready to set up that is something that is streamlined. At the same time, it gives you more opportunities because you can bid for larger contract if you are consulting firm than if you are freelance. Freelance, typically, you cannot bid some of those. Sometimes they are looking for firm. They are not looking for freelance consultant. So the first model is a freelance consultant. The second model is the consultant firm. Now, you also do have international consulting firm. You have international consulting firm, and then you have consultant network. Something like what Edfrica is doing, where you have a pool of consultant. Of course, you can do your work alone sometimes, but if there are opportunities, you can bid jointly. Sometimes if you need support, you can tap into the network and ask for partnership, and you agree on how the fee are, share allocated, and you do the job. So the point I'm making here is now the starting point, the normal starting point is you start as a freelance consultant to learn some one or few tools, etc. You do some, and of course, if you want to go on your own, you can set up your own firm, but you can also work for a consulting firm to learn the bricks and mortar of what managing a consulting firm is about. It's not very easy. It is, trust me, very complex. You have, in addition to the technical work you are doing, you have to manage people. It is really, really serious. But then, if you believe in it, if you are well prepared, if you are organized, you have entrepreneurial mindset, you can make a lot of money other consulting, because in fact, Africa, we don't have many established good consulting. We have some of them, and what African firms, they don't have capital base, so they cannot, expand seriously. So many of the consultants set and working as freelance consultant, which has a limit in terms of your gross potential. You can do as much consulting activity if you are a freelance consultant. You cannot do more than 2 consulting at a time, sometimes, unless you are doing the work from home. Even sometimes you have, but if you are doing some international assignment or assignment which require traveling, typically you cannot take 2 or 3. Otherwise, you'll be lying to some of your partner. Because you cannot be in 2 places at the same time, 2 different places. So sometimes it's very problematic. So other consultants, sometimes you have to have the integrity to tell people, okay, no, I cannot take this because right now I'm busy doing this and this and this. Now, these are the 4 different consulting models, which you should think of seriously. Now, what does it take to become a consultant? Now, what does it take to become a consultant? Consultant is about expertise. So a consultant means that you are an expert, okay? Now, what it takes is what I call the first level of readiness to become a consultant. You have to have the proper education. Now, if you want to do management consulting, you have to do you have to have at least some BS, bachelor, of at least a master's degree in management or economics or whatever it is, This is one. Education is very important. But listen, we are not talking here just a teacher. We are talking a consultant with a domain expertise. So you have to have some form of professional experience. It adds to your credibility if you have professional experience. If you have professional experience also, you can relate to people you are talking, professional people you are talking, because you can relate to practical experience, work-life experience, etc. So practical professional experience is very, very important. Of course, consultancy is also about track record. Now, track record is good for you, but also good, more important, it's good for your partner, the people you are engaging with, because if they see that you've done this and this, it adds to your credibility. Now, fourthly, consultants' domain expert readiness is also about structured learning, your personal effort to learn, understand, to develop knowledge and know-how. Not only that, but as you develop them, you learn about, you try and structure them. You portray yourself in a consulting assignment, you try and structure them so that tomorrow come, etc., you can just easily refer to what you've learned in terms of how to do a diagnosis, a business diagnosis, etc. By the way, how to do SME access to finance facilitation, how to do entrepreneurship training, etc. Now, if you don't have no knowledge on those elements, both educational knowledge, experience, and your own personal learning, you cannot claim to be an expert. You cannot claim to be a consultant. So, can you hear me well?
Yes, we
Yes,
can.
Yes, we
clearly.
can. Yes, we can. We can hear
Very
you
good.
very
So
well.
this is the first level of consultancy readiness. So I will insist on the last one. You have to have an organized way of learning, issue, topic, tools, toolkits, etc., etc. It helps a lot as a consultant. Now, the second level of readiness has to do with actual management of consultancy activities or opportunities. Now, the number one is, how do you spot opportunities in consultancy? What does it mean? It means that you have to understand the market you are in, and also who are those people who can provide you with opportunity. You remember those people I just mentioned: local government, central government, international organization, international NGOs, etc., etc. So it is very important that you have some form of engagement with those. Now, second thing is about marketing and business origination. How, after you identify opportunities, how do you really engage? Sometimes you have to respond to a call for proposal. Sometimes you have to go there, collect document. Sometimes you go there, develop a relationship, etc., etc. And then you try to identify where the opportunities are, and then you apply. Some people will just be listening. Some organization listen. You can come in a proactive way. Tell them, listen, I am sorry, so I can see that you guys, want to develop, the informal sector or the SME sector. I am, by the way, this is what I'm doing, etc. I can do this for you. You try and collect as much information before you engage with them. Okay. Now, typically people say, "Oh, what is your survey? Can you send us your company brochure or your survey?" So it is very important that you understand what a good, well-prepared CV is. It's a skill. If you don't know it now, you have many tools in the web, so you can go there, and try and adopt one of the model of CV writing or CV presentation. The second thing that is very important after the CV, can you write a proposal? It is very important. Proposal writing is a specific skill. You can be an expert in everything, but you are very good technical, but writing a proposal you are not very good at. I've worked long enough to see people who are specialized in proposal writing, even in area where they are not experts, because they know how to respond to terms of reference, to respond to between the line of the terms of reference, commenting the terms and coming with comprehensive proposal. Of course, proposal writing also is about technical understanding, but also it's about presentation. So you have to have infographic, etc., skill. If you don't know them, if you want your company to stand alone, pay somebody to prepare some template for you, for your presentation, for your report, for your proposal writing, so that with nice visual appeal, so that when people see it, you have the visual impact with there. But it also has to be easy to understand any proposal writing. Now, of course, in the area of proposal writing, you have to understand a number of things. I know one thing important for you have to understand your cost, because if you don't understand your cost before you are dying for a business, because you broke, you want a business. Now the gentleman, listen, guys, why can't you come to Cross River State? We have a meeting there now. You have to cost whatever the travel, because if you take the money and then you come to, by the way, for the way we are paying only $150, you pay your air ticket. So you see, you have to plan, understand your fixed cost and also some of your variable. Most importantly, you have to understand the activities you'll be performing, the effort you'll be deploying, and come up with a related costing and pricing structure. Now, in consulting, you have many types of pricing, but I'm going to share five or four with you. The first one, you can price per days of work, meaning you have a contract for 30 days of work and you are paid, let's say, you $200 a day per work. This is one way of pricing consultancy work, and many of the partners will be, offering this kind of pricing. Second way of pricing depends on the consulting services. We'll talk about consulting area, but consulting business can also be priced based on the consulting product. Let's say you prepare a business plan, it's a product. So you can charge for a business plan. If they tell you, okay, you can say, oh, listen, I'm doing one business plan for a traditional small business, $1,000. Maybe if it is a manufacturing company, very, very complex, etc., $1,500, etc., etc., or 2,200. I've written business plan as expensive at $125,000. Now, if you are talking this large infrastructure project, it can go up to $500,000, even $1 million, depending on how complex the feasibility study or the technical engineering study ahead is complex. Now, so you can also price based on result of outcome. Let's say if you are advising on resource mobilization or fundraising for a startup, you can, okay, I'm going to help you through the whole process. I'm going to prepare the business plan. I'm going to write a pitch deck for you. We are going to negotiate together. But if it works, I get 1.5%. This is a pricing way. But typically in this kind also, you have what we call a retainer. You have some basic flat fee. Let's say, okay, listen, to start this, I would require $2,500 because you are looking for $250,000. So I will take 2,500, but I'll advise you on that. If it works now, you give me a success fee of 1% or 1.5%. Now, the flat fee of 2,000, whatever, 5,000, it's what is called a retainer fee. So many of the big firms require some form of it because otherwise, if it doesn't work, you lose. You would have spent your time and get no money, okay? So here I'll put success fee plus more or less a retainer fee. Now, you also can charge for project management team. Some of these large firms you see who manage EU project or World Bank project, they have some management fees that run from 4% to 6-8%, depending on the complexity and the size of the project. They make a lot of money. They make money. Now, in terms of revenue model, they make money out of management fees, project management fee. They also make money out of the consultant they use. So they will tell you, okay, I'm using consultant, Remy, I'm going to pay Remy, let's say $500, but I'm going to charge the World Bank $700. So they make 200 out of it. So they also have, if you have a team consulting team, it's part of the business model, etc., etc. Now you can also price, but as you do your pricing, you also always have to think of competition. If you are too high, think of alternative pricing. You risk losing the business. So these are some of the pricing strategy as you venture into consultant and some of the elements you should keep in mind. Now, in terms of readiness number 2, another element is about reporting. Reporting is very important. I remember my first consultancy assignment about several years back. I did the report I was working with some European firm. When I finished my report, it was a banking institution. I did, but when I sent them my report, I was really poor at reporting. I'm telling you. But then when they returned me back my report, it was like it was done by some firm. I don't know, some big firm. It was well written, good preparation, nice infographic, good cover page. I could not do that. So it is very important that you take time to invest into reporting skills. If you cannot do it, pay one of your friends, one of consultant to prepare for you a template for reporting so that you don't expose yourself as somebody who is lousy at reporting. So reporting is very, very, very important, of course. Okay. And of course, as you are doing your consultancy reporting, you have to make sure that you've responded to customer expectation. What are some of the questions asked in the terms of reference? Now, the actual consultancy model is about, typically, I've seen some consultants, you give them, they meet the customer, they discuss, and then they go home and they send the draft report. Now, as you are reporting, as you are doing your analysis, always consult with the client to make sure that you are not off the track in terms of, addressing his expectation and responding to the terms of reference. Sometimes you think that you are doing the good thing while you are doing something that the consultant is lousy for the consultant. It's not good for the consultant. Or it is not what he's expecting. Okay. So reporting is very important. And of course, contract execution, you have to make sure that you understand the expectation. How do you typically you should always have what we call a kickoff meeting, an inception meeting. You meet with the owner, you discuss issue, the expectation. Where I see it, they might tell you, oh, this is exactly what we mean. But they might also tell, no, it's not what you think. What we mean is this, to make sure that everything is clear. The people you should meet, to consult with, to interview, they tell you these are the people we want you to meet. And by the way, we are going to come with you. We are going to organize a meeting. You have to discuss many issues. And even the document they should share with you, they shall give you the proper list and make them available to you. So the kickoff meeting is very, very important. And of course, you have to be ready about understand the activity and the reporting. How do you manage? So consultancy business is not joke, by the way. It is, you are always under stress, especially if you are not very professional. And people don't give their money away like this. If they give you money, they expect in return something done very, very, very well. Okay. Now, third type of readiness for consultant. It is in the job. What you do as you are doing, you are implementing the activities. The number one is interpersonal skill. You should be open-minded. If they oppose your viewpoint, you should not be aggressive. You should be fine. Listening skill, listen to them, and how you engage. So, by the way, the other side, some people are constantly nervous, in bad mood. So you have to know how to engage with those kind of people. So you have to have some skill, business management skill, diagnosis, financial management. If you are doing management consulting, human resource management, marketing, etc. And today we are talking about digital. You have to specialize in digital, etc., etc. You have to understand the topical matters. You have to understand them. Of course, if it involves some technical skill, you have to understand those technicals. If you don't have them, you find somebody who understands that. You put it in your team to help. It's very important. Don't pretend to know everything, to understand everything. So you have to have problem-solving skills. Sometimes you can run into complex problem. You have to have problem-solving skill. You have to have networking skill, depending on the project. Sometimes it helps a lot. Of course, you have to be able to communicate with with the people you interview, whether it is the person who is paying you or some of the local community, etc., etc., etc. And of course, you have to keep everything up to standard. Okay, you should not be aggressive while you are doing your work. Mingle with some other things that are not in relation to the concept. So I call it here number 3, but I've presented before one. The last one that is important. The last one is how do you position yourself at the consultant firm? Now, this is very important. This is a life management skill. What I'm saying here. Listen, you see, the mistake many people are doing right now. You are trained in one thing, only one thing, and you expect to work only on that thing, and you can work only in that thing. Never do that. It is dangerous, because if you don't have anything in that sector, what do you do? So always, at least, ambitious, project yourself in terms of at least 2, 3, area, because the more area of expertise you have, the better chance of getting assignment you get. Me, for instance, I was trained initially in engineering, and then I did some business school, blah, blah, went to the US, and then get some skill in finance, management, whatever it is. I work for a bank. So but I did not leave my previous engineering background because I'm a civil engineering background in hydropower, in water supply and sanitation. Then I use them to develop expertise in what they call public-private partnership for infrastructure. And I move beyond water and whatever irrigation, hydropower, energy infrastructure to work into all the area of infrastructure, like transport infrastructure, to develop my skill. Now, today I do consultancy in finance, banking and finance. I do consultancy in infrastructure also, but I've also done a lot of private sector development, meaning entrepreneurship, SME development, export development, industrial transformation, reform, business enabling environment, etc. So I have at least those 3 domains of expertise. But when I was at IFE, I was managing the oil and gas sector. I was like, okay, listen, this is important for me to understand the sector. I invested myself in the sector. I was managing the Nigeria, how do you call, local content program for a number of for the World Bank Group with a number of donors in Nigeria, oil and gas. I was doing the same thing in Angola, oil and gas. I doing for the oil sector in, how do you call it, in Uganda. I was managing the local content program in the gold industry in Ghana, for the platinum industry in South Africa, for the copper industry in Zambia. So I developed expertise in managing oil and gas. And also after that, I worked for a firm called Forbes and Manhattan, in oil, gas, infrastructure. So I just developed. So now, other consult, of course, this has not been in one. I've done it over 30-year experience. So I've developed expertise in banking and finance and resource mobilization or stuff. I design all kinds of financing institutions. I've developed expertise in private sector development, and I've developed 2 areas of specialized expertise, which is infrastructure and oil, gas, and mining sector. So because of that, I cannot say 2 weeks, 1 month without having 2 proposals. So it's like, we want to work with you in this and that, and you just, all you have to do is to select, if you are available, what you can do within your firm, and as you, a standalone consultant. So what I do is I have my firm now, but if I have a lucrative, freelance consulting assignment, I can take it. But I've signed a contract with my own firm whereby any freelance consultant I take, I give some of it to my company, just to make sure that I don't leave out the two opportunities, because there is many opportunities in freelance you cannot get other firm. No? But other firm also, you have some opportunities that you can only get other firm. As you are a firm, you cannot get other freelance, etc., etc. So you have to maximize the number of expertise area. Now, let us take, for instance, private sector development. Let's say private sector development. Private sector development is a generic term that means how can a country develop its private sector? So what are the service chain in private sector? You have what you call policy reform. You also have what you call, for instance, entrepreneurship and small, medium-scale business development, because in private sector, large business are not involved because large business can take care of themselves. And you have export development. You have industrial value chain development, or industry, it's the same thing, etc. This is what private sector means. Now, the functional expertise area of private sector has to do with investment, entrepreneurship and SME, export development, industrial development or value chain development, etc. It's what you call the functional expertise. But you have what you call sector-specific expertise. Now, as you do that, the way you treat the oil and gas sector is different. So you have to understand now what we call the thematic or the sectoral expertise, issue area. As if you are, the way you do it for the manufacturing sector is different from the way you do it for the agribusiness sector. So these are sector-specific expertise. Now, it helps always a lot to have some good understanding of functional expertise. Now, if you have some sector-specific experience, it is even much better, okay? So second area of positioning is develop your functional expertise well. And if you can add some 1 or 2 sector-specific experts, it helps a lot. Now, on top of all that, you have what we call specialized skills. Those are skills that are really difficult to find in the market or skill difficult to match. Now, let me tell you something, one specialized skill I see right now. For instance, how do you leverage digital technology, digital transformation, your business skill? How do you go through some form of digital transformation? This morning alone, I was just following up somebody. How do you leverage AI, artificial intelligence, for your business? And of course, some specialized skill is graphic design is specialized skill. You see, you have a number of specialized skills. And let me tell you, I've seen a gentleman who was consulting in development, but for some reason, he was so good in graphic design that the amount of market of business he's got on graphic design was too much. He ended up forgetting his own core business expertise as freelance consultant to do only. He's in IT, graphic design, reporting, whatever, and he's making tons of money out of it. And it is also less headache than, you have to know the basic, acquire some software, and then he's getting all kind of contact. He's making a lot of money. Now he has a whole team of graphic design. As he did this, he developed an expertise in filming, documentary filming, and now he's in the multimedia business. He's making a lot of, and he went into it by chance. Now, the other thing that is very important in terms of positioning, listen, the functional expertise is good, the specific, but also you have some new emerging technologies that are coming, digital, smart technology, social mobility technology, analytics, artificial intelligence are coming. So you have to also to anticipate, to understand how those emerging technology or thematic or issue affect the business working. Because you might be called upon, oh, listen, oh, we have this problem with this technology, artificial intelligence. Can you help us frame how, if you anticipate, you can make a lot of money before the crowd understand the issue. So if you know how to anticipate, and some of these emerging issues, you can make a lot of money. You can develop training content, train and make money before the rest of the crowd see those opportunities. Okay, so you see these 4 areas of consultancy readiness. I will summarize. The number one will have to do with consultancy domain knowledge, expertise. You have to have education, experience, track record. You have to learn yourself. Readiness in terms of consultancy management, opportunity identification, business origination, proposal writing, CV writing, etc., pricing, reporting, and contract exit. The other one is positioning. The other one is in the job readiness, interpersonal skill, business management skill, small business consultancy skill. It is very important. There is a lot of opportunity. Informal sector consultancy skill, rural development, how do you develop, etc., technical problems, risk, networking skill. So you see, consultant business is a very serious business. Now, what is lovely now about this world right now, anything you're supposed to do, if you don't know how to do it, somebody has done it and knows better than you how to do it. So don't be shy to pay little money to get something done for template, for proper presentation template, proper this. And sometimes pay to go to learn something. But now you don't even need to pay. Most of the things are free on the web. Download, make your research, summarize the concept, etc. Talk to experts, etc. Now, the last thing I want to share with you is, let me see, no, it's not the last. Now, of course, I've mentioned about proposal writing. Proposal writing, you see, there are some of the headings. It depends on the complexity of the proposal. Your letter of transmittal is very important. The executive summary of your proposal is very important. The introduction, objective, approach, and scope. If you can comment, if the TOR is a bit complex, or you want to bring in some value addition, or you can comment on the TOR. Now, they always will expect you to put up a detailed work plan so that they can appraise your offer and your organization and your staffing and the relevant experience of yourself or the firm you are representing, and the timing, the reporting, whatever, some of the milestones, and of course the fees and the expense and your whatever, and after this technical offer, you have to have a separate financial offer. Okay, and if there is any appendices, any annexes, you put your resume and whatever it is, some of the project you've implemented, whatever. You see, it's a very serious business. It's very professional, and there is nothing like you cannot massage in consulting. It has to be very straight to the point. Otherwise you'll be. The worst thing a consultant can do is to do your job, and the customer says, "Listen, yeah, it's not what we are looking for. It's not good for the consultant." And I've seen it happening. Although the big four of this world, the big four firms. Now, I've personally been involved in 2 works done by two of them, and it was not good. But outside the IFC, it was not well done. They come about many report back and we said, no, it's not good. And somebody else had to correct. So the one I was in Johannesburg, the other one was in Central Africa, one of the top big 4 firms, because they venture into now private sector development, entrepreneur SME. It's not the area. The traditional area were SME. They venture into, business management consultants. Now they venture into development because there is a lot of money, billions of US dollars. But something you don't know it. You cannot just, etc. So proposal writing is here. You have a number of areas that you should address, in a very comprehensive way. Now you have many templates in the website. Okay. Now, what are some of the actual activities they will be asking you to do? If you are a consultant, they might need you for policy design or policy reform or policy implementation. Nigeria policy or whatever it is. Sept, regional policy for whatever it is. So designing, reforming, or implementing the policy, which means that this one you cannot how do you call it, improvise. You have to know it or you don't know it. Period. The same like program design, implementation, management, monitoring and evaluation and reporting. It's the same as project. One program has many projects inside in principle. Okay, a project is a standalone set of activities that leads to the result expected by the customer, etc., etc. So One of the areas are, policy, program, or project design, implementation, management, monitoring, and evaluation, and sometimes communication, sometimes knowledge management are inside. Okay, so I'm going in some small depth into what we mean here. Development international constitute, as I told you, reform. You have to understand what a reform means and what are the activity that you can implement under a reform program. You have policy advocacy, whereby you meet the chambers, etc., business membership organization, discuss with them, etc. You advise them in the advocacy role. And you also do it through PPD, public-private dialogue, which is PPD, and stakeholder dialogue. You organize meeting to all stakeholders so that they can discuss the issue. And from there, you come with a position paper. And from that position paper, they do advocacy. You give them, if it is Manufacturing Association of Nigeria, I've worked with them a lot. You do whatever thing and you let them to them now, president, whatever, secretary, them to the advocacy on television, on whatever, or to the ministry, whatever it is. Of course, you also do benchmarking work when you are doing policy work. Oh, by the way, Nigeria want to set up. Right now, I'm advising one African country in setting up to making the country regional financial center. As I'm doing my work, I've seen that you have people in South Africa, have many of them, Johannesburg Financial Center, Cape Town Financial Center. We also have, how do you call it, Casablanca Financial Center. Mauritius have some. I think Nigeria have launched one recently. It's not yet fully operational, etc., etc. I'm doing one for one country right now as I'm speaking to you guys. Now, to do that, you have to do some form of benchmarking study. How does international financial center work, etc., so that you can, etc., etc. Now, reform also is about drafting policy, laws, and bills. So reform is also about administrative process reforming, where you have many bureaucracy, reforming the fiscal framework, reforming the legal framework, and the process associated process. So you see, these are expertise areas when you are talking about policy, or what is called enabling business enabling, etc. Or when you are talking even some public policy area, many public capacity in another one. Capacity can be at the macro level. When you are doing macro level institutional building, you set up institution for the country. Okay? You develop the capacity of people, human resource capacity building. You set up system, so that the country have the capacity to do this, etc., etc. And so this at the macro level, but you can do also at the meso level, meaning at the industrial sector level, and you can also do capacity at the micro level, meaning at the enterprise level. It can be through training, through system design, whether it is management system or IT or whatever it is. It can be etc. It can be through planning support. When you are doing business planning, you are supporting in terms of planning. Okay. Now, development and international also is about promotion, development, whatever, / socio-economic development. These are the concerns you want to develop. You want to develop human capital. You want to develop the country. You want to develop regional space. You want to develop industrial sector. You want to develop some community. You want to develop some SME or some SME sector, informal sector, small and medium scale business, etc., etc. Now, small medium scale business is very exciting area, very wide, but we are not going to go into that detail. I think sometime you might have the time, opportunity to get. Now, you do it also through policy and program design and implementation, through investment, access to attracting investment or access to finance. You can do it through training, through advisory and technical assistance. And you do it for who? For industrial sector. When you talk about industrial sector development, all these terms mean the same thing. Industrial development, industrial value chain development, industrial transformation. It is exactly the same. In industrial development, you have value chain development, you have industrial transformation. Okay? Industrial transformation means industry development, mean industrial value chain development. But people use this different term interchangeably, but you have to understand exactly what do you mean by value chain development, etc. Now, you can do it also for enterprises, meaning business BDS mean business development support. Training is one BDS, advisory is one BDS, coaching is one BDS, mentorship is about BDS, etc. Incubation is about business action is about BDS. So training, whatever, planning, coaching, etc., etc. You also can do it for individual, etc., etc. Okay, so this is the end of my presentation. If you have any question, I'm ready to answer your question.
Wow. Thank you very much, sir. Personally, I've learned a lot in addition to what I know in the consulting space, and I believe that we've all gotten value so far. I'm sure you have questions, and if you have questions, sir, can you give us like 10, 15 minutes for somebody else to speak, and then we answer all the questions together? Is that fine, sir?
Yeah, it is fine for me. It is fine.
Great.
It is fine.
Great. So we have just add value. We have a lady, one of the consultants from ECOWAS, Perpetual, would like to just give us 10 minutes charge from the female or gender perspective to show that, see, it's not only men that can be international consultants, men and women can be consultants. So we're going to give her the next 10 minutes to just share our insights to us.
Very good. Yeah.
Yes. And then we'll now return to now go into detail of questions and answer. So Perpetual, are you here?
I'm here. Good afternoon.
Great. Good afternoon. You have the floor for the next 10 minutes. Thank you.
Okay. Good afternoon, everyone. You're welcome to this roadmap, how to become an international consultant. I can see that we have a good number of participants who are here to learn and then gather some experience from us. I also want to express my thanks to Mr. Oumar Seck. He has been able to cover a lot of the topics. He has actually done justice by delving deep, which shows the level of his expertise and years of experience as a senior consultant. And thank you for sharing your wealth of experience. So far, from my own perspective as an international development consultant and also a diplomat with ECOWAS, I think what we are here to discuss is just to elaborate more on other opportunities we might be missing out in order to become an international consultant. Becoming one, it's a quite a broad area in that it requires a lot of expertise, like you have rightly mentioned. It requires you to have, a robust and versatile expertise in order to cover a lot of areas that would guarantee you opportunities. For instance, within my own experience, I studied geology and mining, and I have been able to develop myself not just within the geology and mining, just like he talked about mining sector and energy, but I've been able to delve into sustainable development regarding environmental management, climate change, gender, and then as well as occupational health and safety. So I can barely tell you that it is rewarding if you have this a broad expertise that you can be able to deploy as an international consultant, because there are a lot of opportunities when it comes to development and then project management. It's more of a project management field, whether you are within the humanitarian sector or you're under the infrastructure development, because there are a lot of projects, a lot of programs that requires intervention from multilateral development banks and then other donors. Of course, we still have the implementing agencies such as other international firms, like you could have Tetra Tech, Stantec, Dai Global, and GIZ, Palladium, so many of them that operate within the African region. So within also the African continent, we have the African Union, we have the Africa Afrexim Bank, we have the African Development Bank, and we have ECOWAS. So under this regional cooperation framework, we also have so many other agencies that have been able to branch out to specialize, specifically if you're interested in finance, we have the investment and financing arm. You're interested in energy, you're interested in infrastructure, there are also different agencies of these key main African, what we call the international donors, or then what we call implementing agencies. So there are boundless opportunities when you visit their website. You can find so many jobs under their website. You can study the job description. You can also study under the consulting arm, you can study the terms of reference, which is the TOR. And then you require some skills to build your technical and financial proposals. So just like my first speaker said, there are a lot of ways to collaborate, to network, and then to seek mentorship. You can always partner with another consultant to build your skills or to, submit a bid or propose for some of this job. So for my current role as environmental and social consultant with ECOWAS on a regional project, which is an energy project specifically funded by the World Bank and other partners, I'm able to gather what we call, during my application, rather, I was able to, submit a bid, a technical and proposal bid. I also, I went through the procurement system to come out as the first selected consultant. I went through a negotiation interview. I went through the proper interview. I remember I made a lot of requests during my negotiation, but that is because I have been speaking with other professionals, other consultants who are already on the job, who mentored me, who, guided me during my interviews. So I knew I was interviewed by a lot of international firms before I was able to secure this. So there's a lot of preparation that we need to do. There are a lot of expertise we need to build, even in understanding procurement process. If you're not selected, why were you not selected? So a lot of things that you need to find time to understand the knowledge and then the technical know-how. So you do not just have to rely on your areas of expertise or your demonstrated experience. You have to go deeper. You have to go all out. Currently, my project, I was hired for a particular role, but then I have been able to expand. There are needs that are requested by the World Bank based in US, whom I report straight to. So I have to keep expanding my skills, covering e-waste management, but that's what project entails, covering areas on gender and women, and as well as my environmental and social, and then the grievance redress management. So you have to, now we are trying to accommodate consumer protection. So you have to expand your skills. You have to find ways to collaborate with institutions, with organizations, with associations that could help you develop further, your ways to implement and develop your programs and activity. So I think while we are here, I would want to share maybe some slides on some logos of some international firms, but I think when we go to website, you can find a lot. Under the World Bank, there are other institutions. You have the IFC, the MIGA, the IBRC, then you go to other Asian banks. There are opportunities beyond the shores of Africa. Like recently, I was selected as an environmental social consultant with Islamic Development Bank. So what am I trying to say? We're trying to, create visibility and then market our skills, not just within the African continent. We are still in the market. We want to grow. We are seeking more opportunities, even while we have gotten what we have. We are also open to opportunities to partner with international development firms that are already bidding for projects within Africa. As far as Africa is concerned, from my own perspective, we will keep having projects and programs that we all have to implement to improve livelihood, to reduce poverty, and also to create jobs. And then, so that would require skills, sustainable skills, infrastructure skills, engineering, finance, and then we also have the accounting and what have you, the humanities, which is human resource development and co. So, and then communication, we have gender. So all these skills, monitoring and evaluation, these are key areas that are required in project management. You can decide to venture, train yourself in one. There are opportunities on internship that you can also apply to some of these institutions I have mentioned. You can go in there, work and then gain 6 months experience, whether it is paid or unpaid. It adds to your portfolio, adds to your international experience, and then it exposes you to other consultants who are in-house and then the permanent staff who are there. From there you can always, grow. So, and I appreciate what Edfrica is doing because they are using this platform to bring together interested consultants within the African scope, be able to share with you opportunities. that you can partner with and then grow your career. So I think I've been able to cover certain areas within the international development, your interests, your aspirations, and then your ambition. It is a rewarding job, but then it's tasking. But it's good that we just help from the senior professional, that you can share knowledge, you can engage, and so make your work easier for you. So it's a continuous learning process. We're always learning, we're always improving ourselves. So that's the word I just want to leave with all of us today. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Perpetua. You can see from a perspective, both male, both female, and any other gender you choose, you're welcome into the international consulting world. I've worked with both of them, and we're working on multiple projects, both from ECOWAS, World Bank, GIZ, and all. And we're willing to actually support as many people as possible. You will notice from their comment, both of them, saying we need more African consultants in that top level, in that international space. And I want to believe that you being here, you're not too small to start. It might take 1 year, 2 years, 3 years for you to get there, but it's possible. We'll go into the questions and answer. So, Perpetua, thank you very much again for being available and being here to help us. Who has any question? If you have any question, can you please raise up your hand? Bimbola, do you want to handle this? If you have any question, can you raise up your hand?
Adewale is on the line to handle that.
Okay, Adewale. Okay. It seems there are no questions. So, I would like to go through some information I want to share, and then Adewale will come and give further information, and then we'll start rounding up from here. So, first, if you have a question, please go ahead with your question.
Thank you so much.
Adenike Richard, go ahead,
Yes,
please.
thank you so much. Good morning. Thank you, Mr. Oumar and Perpetual. Thank you for the session. It was quite enlightening. So I just want to ask a question based on my own background and how I can apply to what I've learned here. From the sessions, I see that I can adopt with my track record. I can become an international consultant in mostly development field, sustainability, reach out to people in my community and all. But for me, I'm a fashion entrepreneur and I have over 6 years experience in that field of expertise. How do I apply this to being a consultant? I don't know if my question is clear. How do I apply this?
So is this for Oumar Seck?
Yes, please.
Okay, please, Oumar Seck. Hello, Oumar.
Sorry, I was muted.
Okay.
Sorry. Can you tell me the last time, how do you apply what?
How do I apply my experience in fashion to being a consultant, a fashion entrepreneur, operations?
So you are working, how do you apply your actual skill to?
Yes.
Okay. Oh, very good. Entrepreneurship it's a good area of entering the consulting business. What you do is to try and understand what are some of the processes you are involved in, including training on entrepreneurship. But at the same time, entrepreneurship, you have generic skill, but you also have to have some specific skills, on some sector specific skill. So what you do is try and understand, at least you see training as about model. So if you have 1 or 2 entrepreneurship or small business advisory module, both in terms of training or advisory, I think that will help you start. You can sell your services to some of the freelance consultant or to some organization or to some consulting firm. Let them listen. I can offer this training for your cohort of entrepreneur, girl entrepreneur or young entrepreneur, etc. I can training on this very relevant, etc. Or I can offer this advisory, and this is the way I intend to do it. So entrepreneurship is a good entry point into small business consultancy, but you have to develop at least those entry point, but also you have to develop some core area of small business advisory consultancy.
Thank you, Oumar. Thank you very much. So maybe to just add a little, I'm opening, if you can share this, see my screen, you can see GIZ is looking for, I'm sure in this project, they looked for fashion entrepreneurs as consultants. So like Oumar said, the combination of your fashion skills and your entrepreneurial skills or advisory skills can make you an international consultant on a project like this. And this is not only this one, there are so many organizations that do around fashion, and whatever you're doing is just to make sure that you look for them, make sure you're positioned to be seen as an advisor or as a consultant, and then opportunities like this, you'll be surprised that you're the one because they will need somebody in the consulting, I'll be in the entrepreneurial space who understand fashion and in the business space. So I hope that answers your question well. So Omar, somebody else asked a question.
Yes.
For instance, I am a GIZ staff. How do I integrate this consultancy into my job as a GIZ full-time staff?
Okay, two level of answer. First of all, if you are committed into one project full time, you cannot do consultancy unless you are part time. As simple as that. It depends on the nature of your contract. If you are full time consultant, you are supposed to be there full time, meaning from 8 to whatever 4 or 5 every day. That is. But if you are consultant, you are just freelance, you are freelancing, etc. You can organize yourself depending on your time availability to do consulting. This is one. The second level of, if you are a staff of a consultant firm or whatever firm, an institution, and you want to venture into consultancy, let me give you my own experience. You see, when I was working at engineering and then went into group, I forget the training because I'm not going to my training. I worked with an international bank and then went into the UN and moved to World Bank, etc., etc., etc. Now, when I was at IFC, I said, okay, listen, Oumar, with your whatever, something like 15 years of 20 of experience, now I have to start doing my own consultancy work. See, start, So, but why I was thinking it, I have to prepare myself while I was within IFC. Now, what I've done is I start understanding, trying to do a mapping of consultancy opportunities for me, area I can fit in. I can do consultancy work. Once I choose the selected area where I should perform as a consultant, I start collecting and gathering tools, both from the consultant perspective, but also from, what are the terms of reference, what are the different type of, assignment, blah, blah, blah. I start preparing myself. And in fact, I got my first consulting assignment with some South African bodies, before even I leave IFC, because I've negotiated. I was ready to leave maybe 3-6 months before I leave there. Oh, man, listen, we want to work with you because I was doing my marketing for it. So as I was leaving IFC voluntarily, I immediately had my feet into one assignment, one major in fact, 2 assignments, that one, and I applied for 2 EU, and then they come all along. So you can use your position to develop your skill in your specific area of interest and prepare your exit from that institution into the consulting world. So this is something, but you have to make sure that you prepare yourself in terms of product, talk to experts, talk to people who understand the business, go to workshop and try to prepare yourself. Now, one easy way of making money also in consulting is training. But training, you don't do training out of nothing. You have to prepare the training content, etc. And as you do the training, the people you are training will see you, and you can even get contract while you are delivering the training, etc., etc. Okay, so the feedback I want to give that is just my example, so that you can use your position to prepare yourself. And by the way, and even as you are a consultant, you can enhance your consultancy skill by working with other consultants, try to understand what they are doing research, asking questions, being part of work group, try to do things, learning, etc., and being mentored by somebody who has more experience than you. So these are also some of the skill set you have to develop.
Thank you very much, Omar.
Emmanuel, I don't know whether I've answered that question.
Yeah, that's beautiful. So a very detailed and good answer. Perpetual, you're just sharing your screen now, but are you ready to share it again? While you share your screen, there's somebody else with a question. Oluwafemi, please go ahead with your question.
Okay, thank you very much. My name is Oluwafemi. Thank you so much, Mr. Omar, for that wonderful, presentation. I just wanted to ask if there are opportunities to be mentored, for mentorship. So, someone like me is actually interested. I don't know if that opportunity is open for us.
Okay, I think I have to be known to answer this.
This is something that will be managed by Emmanuel, eh?
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
Yes, sir. Yeah, so
I know that at Edfrica, I'm sure they will be developing some mentorship program, with aspiring, existing, and even some experienced consultant. If not mentorship, it has to be networking, etc., etc.
Exactly.
The answer for me is in principle yes, but it has to go through Edfrica.
Thank you very much, sir, for affirming that. Yeah. So why we've been saying everybody should make sure you are part of the consulting group that will come into rebuilding our platforms. The sign-up form is there, is because we have a monthly activity like this. Every month we bring international consultants to come and speak to us on different topics. By the time we're ending, I'm going to show you what's going to happen next week, next month, what's going to happen the upper month. These are forms of mentorship and that we're trying to provide. I'm an international consultant. I understand the issue of time for all international consultants. So we are trying to manage the accessibility to these people and also making sure they're also available to support us. Because imagine if 90 of us here say, Omar, I want you to be my mentor. You won't even have the time. You will be overwhelmed. But we're trying to make sure we put a structure around consulting, mentorship, support for all African consultants who are currently maybe local or freelancer to climb into that space. So just be with us all through this journey. And I'm sure within the next few weeks or months, you will know the value that Edfrica has to offer in line of this. Okay. There's also one more question. One more hand raised up. Okay. I think the hand is down.
Excuse me?
Yeah, okay. Okay, so I think there are questions here. Just hold on, Omar. And
yes, what is the question?
Okay, I am, let's say, from Ethiopia, and I own a consultancy firm, and it is my passion. However, when I evaluate my progress so far, I am not performing as planned. My question here is, would you inform me on how to be effective and how to leverage on opportunities for me and exposure, how to leverage opportunities, enhance my capacity and exposure? How do I leverage an opportunity? How do I become more effective? And how do I reach my goals faster as a consultant?
Very
Omar?
good, very good.
Yes.
Yeah, this is a very smart question. This is the consultant firm. Is he freelance or consultant firm? I'm assuming it's a firm.
Consulting firm, yes.
Yeah. This is about consultancy business plan. Now, consultancy business plan is more, it's not about the process. It is about positioning and business origination. I'm telling you, this is something I've done many consultant training, and especially in a market like South Africa, which is very competitive, in Kenya, Nairobi. So it's about positioning, product positioning, and business origination. And with a lot of intelligence, what you call donor intelligence, meaning development partner intelligence, local government intelligence, federal government, and where lie the opportunities. So it's very important. So you have to come up with a serious positioning, product selection, and business origination strategy. And of course, it has to be backed by expertise. Now, this is one. Now, secondly, if you don't have the right expertise inside, try and find, and that's what's nice about consultancy. You look into the network, your own network, people like whatever, whoever it is, myself, somebody else. Listen, Mr. So-and-so, I've been bidding for this consultant assignment. Can you kindly share your CV, or will you be willing to work with me? And you start, making your offer for service more robust. If people see proper content, expertise, good CV, they will be more inclined. So, fourth thing to summarize, one, it's about positioning in terms of product area. Sometimes people say, I'm doing consultancy in, let's say, in one area, which is not the right area for you. As simple as that. It's not business. If you are in the wrong business, you are in the wrong business. Whether you call yourself a businessman or if you are in the wrong business. So you have to do product choice. Listen, you see, Perpetual was talking about ESG type of activities. Right now, green activities and ESG is in high demand all over the place, Now, if you take green entrepreneurship, it's not the model is not very clear. You have few people who even donors are struggling to come up with a stabilized model for green entrepreneurship promote. You see? So you have few, so if you can there, understand the first ESG requirement, the process, the tool, knowledge, etc., and try it coming, etc., etc. You can, so you have to. It's about selecting consultancy area and product. Secondly, you position. Firstly, you engage with those who are the good supply. By the way, you have to know the sources, because if you look at EU firms, EU-based firms, you have close to 1,000 consulting firms in EU. Now, I'm sure some of them, if you target, so if your CV is good, you will be able to get something. Now, if you don't have the proper CV background, technical background, find for a partner. It can be in your network. It can be somebody else who has nothing to do with your network. You just discuss with him. CV, we agree. We are going to jointly bid. I'm in Nigeria. It's a big market. I'm going to bid. I'm going to propose your whatever. Sometimes you can even contribute to your proposal. And then if you want a contract, you execute together. So partnership, it's also a winning formula in consulting business. Let me tell you the model I have in my own consulting firm. I have a consulting firm. Every month I pay about 12 to 17 people every single month. Now, what I've also I've come across many bright consultants or people who are in country region where the consulting market is big, but you don't have many consultants. So if you bring a contract, I can jointly implement with one of my team member and you. We have a fee. I will share. Now you can find a business for me, but a business you cannot execute, but I am going to execute. We also agree. So those are pricing structure you can do and how you make money. Because the bottom line is you want to make money. So the way you make money is not very, very, I think it's important, but not very, very important. So if you can do it through partnership, proper partnership, you do it. But listen, now, if you are a one-man, one-team consultant or one or two consultant, you better have strong background. If you don't have it, make sure that you talk to one or two experience, you put them in your brochure so that you can apply together. Okay?
Thank you very much, Omar. That was quite clear and straightforward. Good. So we have to start rounding up now. We have 15 minutes left in our 2 hours. I see that we've been sharing value with the fact that dog issues. Now, thank you very much, Omar. Thank you, Perpetua, for the information and the details that you've shared. Before my team do the final information sharing, we would appreciate that you do the following for us. Number one, you would like to let you know that we are going to have the next consultant webinar. I hope you can see my screen. Good. But in October, it's a monthly series, and we're going to be having the next one, navigating the growth barrier in consulting. From our experience, we know that a lot of consultants face the issue of gender bias. We have issues of racial discrimination. We know this reality. Age, you're too young. It's just written there's no age barrier, but a lot of barrier and all forms of profiling that seems to have been restricting you. You submit your CV, you submit your proposal, and yet you seem never to get that project or get that job. What is the problem? How can we tackle this challenge? We're bringing another international consultant to come and talk with us on this. I believe this topic might be why you've not even entered the space so far, even on the level of national consulting. It could be one of the reasons, this profiling issue, this assumption on your behalf that you're not just capable issue could have been. There's a way somebody like Perpetual has been able to overcome. If you notice, she mentioned they were asking me how my pricing rate was this, that. And she said, oh, I've talked with some people. Those are ways to overcome this kind of barriers and challenges. For her to have scaled to where she is, for Omar to have scaled to where she is, for me to have scaled to where I am. And despite age, despite gender, despite race or African discrimination or whatever discrimination that we've been facing, I think you need to learn this. So get ready for October. We're going to share the information with you on the date, who will be speaking, the value you'll be getting. And I want to believe that you will be inviting your colleagues and your friends who are also going to be consultants too. You want to grow together because we've been able to add value to you today. Number two, Omar mentioned about CV. So we'll be sharing as part of the resources in helping consultants in our network. We'll be sharing the EU CV to you. CV writing service will come, but maybe not free, but at a little token. If you need the help, the Edfrica team will link you to people who can help you provide this consultancy solution, and you can take it up from there to help you have a CV. Because the CV for consultants is different from the CV for normal job. Please let me know that. Then for November, we'll focus on proposal writing. We're going to get somebody who has written proposal for so many donor agency organizations. Sorry, so many private organizations and they've won, millions of USD in funding, who have won in different format and all. We're going to be working with them. If you need to chat us up, you need to get information about all the information we have, the things we need to do. Please, this is our phone number. You can screenshot and just chat us up. Okay, what you have to do with us, or what would you like to do with us? Edfrica is readily available for that. The video link will be shared to all registered consultants so that you can rewatch and pick information that you need to pick that are important to you. We would like you to connect with us. My colleague will also share the other detailed social information, media information. Plus, we need you to rank us well on Google. It's quite important to us. On LinkedIn, just search for Edfrica on LinkedIn, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook. I'm already doing the announcement on my team, on behalf of my team. Thank you, my team. Please, that's fine. And then it will be good for you to connect with me and all. Lastly, before I hand over to the team, we are ready to collaborate. Omar mentioned something. You can't handle all projects that you have opportunity of information to or access to. Why allow such projects to leave or to go when you can collaborate with Edfrica. We can see from the database of the participant now, we have connects in Ethiopia, South Africa, we have Gambia, we have Ghana, Oumar is from Senegal, we are domiciled in Nigeria, we have connects in Liberia, we have strong connect across the ECOWAS countries, East African countries, and Southern African countries. So, but it's something you guys can apply for. We can apply together and you become part of the team that would implement, or how you want to do it. Please and please, we have a, imagine we bring Oumar as the team lead for a project you bring us into. And Oumar stands as a team lead. Other international consultant that we have comes in as part of it. Do you think with Oumar's CV we would lose that project? Or with Perpetual CV we would lose that project? No. You might not have that capacity yet, but the way to, for example, the way I entered into this industry was collaborating like this. I gave those ahead of me the opportunity to lead, but compulsorily I must be part of the bid. I have a project in Ethiopia that I'm working with, and I have to be part of the bid. And that's the way I expanded across board, and a lot of consultants expanded across board. You might not be able to be the team lead, but you bring the project. It's coming from your organization. You already have the inside information. You know what to do, how to approach it. Edfrica is willing to collaborate with you, and then you'll surely know you will surely have an arrangement on deliverables. Oumar, people like Oumar and so many other people that we're going to introduce to you are ready to support us to grow. Don't let us hold information that in order to, and then at the end of the day, we'll lose this opportunity. So that's final from my side. We have some like 8 minutes more. Adewale, I know I've spoken a lot on what you want to say, but you have the floor to just give further announcements that across board. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much, Dr. Emmanuel Odumusi. You've really given all the details I would love to give, and you've spoken to. Thank you very much, sir. We'd just love to appreciate Oumar Seck once again. Thank you, sir, for this great section. Thank you very much. We really appreciate you. And just as Dr. Emmanuel has said, we would like to inform us that please you can follow us on all our social media platforms. There you can get to see more of the things that we share, and also on the chat box, right in the chat box, we have our links to get to our social media platforms. Edfrica, you can just search on Edfrica if you should, in case you can't get the link, just search Edfrica on Instagram, on Twitter, on Facebook, on LinkedIn. Just search for Edfrica, you'll find them. And also we have a Zoho form for those who might not be going through the website to register as a consultant. You can just fill up the form, the Zoho form, and we would put up a registration for you as a consultant on our platform. Once again, we would love to say thank you very much. Thank you for joining this section, and we hope to see you in October. You get every details to the October webinar soon. Yeah, thank you, Doctor, for helping me share this slide. So you get details to the webinar soon, and also just as he has said, the link to this class will be shared with all consultants who are registered with us. Thank you very much. We really appreciate you. From this end, that will be all. Okay. All right. Thank you, sir.
Okay,
this
guys,
is
Emmanuel and the team. Goodbye. Bye-bye, guys. God bless you. Bye-bye.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Edfrica. God bless you.
Thank you.
Okay, so thank you, everyone. We will meet when we meet again. We'll share further information with you via WhatsApp and via email. Perpetual, thank you very much. Please share your
You're
slide with
welcome.
us so that we can share it with everybody.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you
Yes,
for the
please do.
session.
Thank you
Thank you
so
very
much.
much, Barry.
All right.
Okay, take care. Bye.
Bye, everyone.